Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna evolve. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna evolve. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
Hey, you
Now,
guys got a raid.
what's going to happen? Oh, see, I'm all in a whole different screen. The show didn't start as I'm trying to set stuff up.
What's
We're
up?
gonna have a good show
Hey.
because Baron's not here today. And so Baron's not around. We get to make fun of him. His athlete's foot. The fact that he wears the same 6 pairs of underwear throughout the entire year with holes in them.
What?
He does not
What do
drink
you know
water.
about Baron's underwear situation? Why do you know
He
about it?
brushes his teeth with peanut butter. This is all facts.
How do you
that
know
can't be
this
discussed out here.
close? How do you know this close information, Fame?
Because
That's
he's
what I
been
want
to
to
his house.
I've been to his house.
There's best friends.
Hmm.
Like he done uploaded
I've been
something.
to his house. He only wears 2 pairs of socks, and they both mismatch. What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from LV1Gaming.com, and congratulations, you guys leveled up to 245. This is the double XP podcast. Shout out to the raid. Where did raid come from? Was that Addict?
Iron Lords, I think.
Shout out to Addict. Shout out to the Iron Lords podcast. Thank you guys for rocking. We're gonna have a hell of a show today. Again, as you guys can see, Baron is not here, but it's all good because we got some people who are better than him in his place. We got something to talk about. People might be mad or in their feelings, but it's okay. It's okay. We got a little bit of news for everybody, some opinions from everybody, and we're gonna see how the day goes. First off, introductions. My right hand, man, the floor hugger with the hardest of ours.
You put a little in that. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I'm sounding a little sexual, yeah.
It's a little bit.
Wow.
That's my big brother. But I am glad to be here. Bordy, you have full rights to talk about all the sandwiches tonight because Erica she a freak like Alex. So get ready for all that. We love you guys. We know you're a freak. You just don't want to admit it, Erica. Come on.
So it was Iron Lord. Shout out to the Iron Lords for the rest. I see a comment here. Alex said us to ruin the show. I don't know about that. It's hard to ruin the Double XP podcast. We built like Teflon, baby. It's hard to ruin the show. It's real. It's hard.
Rock hard. Bricked up.
Rock hard. It's hard to read it. So next, I'm just saying. Next up, we have a guest with us today. He is the founder of the Outer Haven, friend of the podcast. He's been there before. Keith, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? I just said in the comments earlier, and I'll say it again. You guys brought me back on the show. I don't know if you know what you were doing, but I'm glad to be here.
Oh, we know what we're doing, baby.
And now that you're here, you're more than welcome to walk in the refrigerator, grab yourself a drink. You don't have to ask.
I got mine here, but I'm good. Thanks, fam.
There we go. There we go. Next up, the marketing manager of Freedom Games, writer and co-host at level1gaming.com. Des, what's going on, my love?
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I got my PC, guys. Super excited. My laptop died on me last Friday, so I had to rush and get my PC built. So it's good to be here, and good to see all these new faces. For me, new faces.
I'm surprised you unpacked your PC and didn't just put it back in the box.
I would have if I didn't need it.
Like your PS5.
I wanna fight you right now.
Like your PS5, like your
You know what? I was legit looking for it the other day somewhere in here. I don't know where it's at.
Don't forget the two
I was like,
switches
oh,
she has.
where did I? Okay, so I was at Best Buy and I saw the Zelda Switch and I was like, do I need that? But I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh,
Say less. I show it.
Thank you. It's like $3.59. I should, but I'm not because y'all would get mad. So I'm not gonna get it.
I'm not gonna get mad.
Last but not least, it's been a while, but she is not new to the podcast. Erica for the win. Welcome back to the show. How you been, my love?
Good. We were just talking about it. How it's been a long time, like years or something like that.
I think Gears was the topic. It was something about Gears of War that was going on, and I think that's the last time you've been on the show. You've been ducking and dodging.
Dang. Well, it's been dry.
Look. You had no life changes happen to you.
Yeah, no.
We'll get into that, but let me throw a shot at Gears real quick. It's been dry as heck for Gears news, so it's been like 50 years then since I've been here. That's crazy.
It's dry until we get that news of that collection coming out, and that's it's gonna be finally we're gonna get that PC Gears collection. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable, right?
I need to hold that in my hands to know it's real. It's just like Bloodborne. These things don't exist. Bloodborne PC, all this stuff on PC, it don't exist till it's in my hands.
They need to stop that. I'm getting really tired of that Bloodborne news.
Right? Every week, I feel like there's a new rumor.
Is there new Bloodborne news? Did I miss something?
It's just a rumor. It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's
been rumors since the first game came out. They're like, it's gonna come on PC. Bloodborne 2. Yeah.
Bloodborne sequel.
Yeah.
Triggered.
I know, Erica, before we get to the topics, Erica and Keith, y'all are both really big into Souls games, right? Is Bloodborne really the peak? Because when people talk about Souls games, they always go to Bloodborne. Before they talk about Dark Souls, before they talk about, they go straight to Bloodborne. Is it really the pinnacle of Souls games?
Not anymore. No.
I used to think so. And then Dark Souls 3, I think once I got through Dark Souls 3 like the second time or something like that, it just was like, no, it's for me, it's Dark Souls 3. That's the top.
Dark Souls 3.
Bloodborne's good though. Yeah, that's very good.
Bloodborne is like old and busted. It took everything great from Bloodborne, put it in Dark Souls 3. The combat was faster, more variety in weapons, the two-phase boss fights. It was like, all right, you were great for your time, but move over, old man. I got this. Plus, you know, 30 frames per second, I can't rock with that. No.
Yeah, the frames is a big deal. Why people want it on PC, and then these rumors, they just keep going and going and going, but it doesn't ever happen.
No, why people? Why people? Not white people. Why people?
Oh no, why people?
No fame. We are not talking about the 8.5
People want it on the PC so bad, we're getting games like Liza P that are trying to emulate what Bloodborne did. So,
that's true.
Sony's missed out on a big
talk more. You know your Souls. We gotta talk more. God damn.
I'm Souls all day.
Yeah, but I know I was asked to kind of introduce myself a little bit for those who didn't know me. Right. So,
who the hell is Erica? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, if you haven't guessed by now, I'm very much into Souls games. That's kind of what my content centers around. So I've been doing that for like, gosh, I think since Bloodborne came out, that was kind of the game that got me into this life. So that's why I'm very fond of Bloodborne, you know, and I felt like at that time it was like amazing. It's what got me to just change my whole channel and like the type of games that I really, really focus on. So I do that for as far as content. I've been doing content for like 10 years or something like that. It's crazy. But yeah, I other than that, I mean, I just became a mom, so that's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's like 8 months already.
Welcome to hell.
Damn.
Yeah. There you go.
It's crazy, you know, I'm learning. But yeah, I've just been trying to keep up with being a content creator still because I love it. So I'm doing both, and it's been kind of wild, and it's nice to be here for sure.
And you
Come
can
back.
do your thing on TikTok.
Yep.
Yeah, both of us. What you mean, me? Both of us, all of us.
On TikTok. And that's what I love about Erica, right? She's a real one because back when we were really talking about, you know, TikTok and we was trying to grow and hit that luxurious 1,000 mark, right? We was like bouncing off of each other, like feeding off each other. That was pretty dope. But I'm super happy for you. But I got to ask you this before we get into our first topic, because there's only one good Souls game ever, Souls-like game, and I'm sorry, it's the only one that I can play.
Ooh, what is that?
And Remnant 2 is around the corner, so everything else is relevant.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I'm not mad at that because Remnant's pretty freaking awesome, and I can't wait for Remnant 2. Yeah.
I was so
not mad.
shocked to see like the Souls community not like, I didn't see that as much as I hear about Bloodborne. I rarely hear about Remnant, like rarely.
It's
like,
rare.
Remnant was a shadow.
It has guns.
Excuse me. Remnant was a sleeper hit. Wow.
Yeah.
Many people didn't pay attention to it, and everybody who eventually played it, like people that I know played it, were like, "Wow, why did you tell me about this game before?" And I was like, "Did you not see my review? Did you not see me on Twitter raving about this, saying it's Dark Souls with guns? What do you mean I didn't tell you about this?"
Yeah.
That's exactly the best way to describe it. Dark Souls with guns. It really is.
The game is fire. The multiplayer worked perfectly. Everything about the game make me want to play other Souls games, and I'd be like, "Nah."
Don't worry, fam. Technically, you still owe us a playthrough of Sekiro.
I do. That's what happened this year. When we do our subathon this year, that I will embarrass myself playing Sekiro. I may not get past the first boss, but hey, at least I done did it.
You did it.
I see
It was for the
comment in
kids.
chat about Ashen. I wanted Ashen to be good. I never played it, but like everyone kept saying, you know, it wasn't that great.
That was kind of a disappointment for me. I wasn't feeling it.
I heard that a lot, and I wanted that to be my Souls game before I play Remnant. And I fell in love with Remnant. Now I can't play nothing else because everything else just seems. I don't know, man. I know we talked about age pre-show. I just feel like I'm too old, bro. Like I don't have it in me.
No. You see me right here? No.
You see him?
No. I'm the oldest person here. Trust me, I'll play Souls games until I die. I will play nothing but those games. I love them. You can play them. You can play them.
Maybe you just lost interest in them. You can say that. It's fair.
I need a mini map. Where do I go? I will be running in circles for hours without being told where to go.
you're gonna have an excess of time because Avengers is shut down or is shutting down. So you got all this time. You better be exploring other games. And yes, I know you got sad there. Anthem is shut down too, so I gotta reach out and play other games. Come on, it's time to explore, baby. Play Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm about to go back to playing only Madden. No, I can't do that.
Wait. Time out. You haven't played Jedi yet? Fallen Order?
He hasn't.
We got the review code and we
Yeah.
gave it to, I think Old Man Logan did our review.
But you got to the first fight with and then you said, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh,
I
on the
remember that.
original, yeah.
Not
and I was
Survivor,
like,
no.
no one told me that this was a Souls like I'm good.
Well, the combat kinda is, but it's more
Instantly turned
Metroidvania.
like it
The
was.
game
Yeah.
is way more Metroidvania
it is.
though, as far as like how
That's
it.
what I
game
thought when I was watching
formula.
people play it. Like
If you
everybody
go
was like,
back
"It's
to
Souls-like," but as I was
Yep.
watching it, I was like, "It doesn't seem like any of the Souls games that I've seen or played."
The
It seems more
problem
Metroidvania.
is anytime somebody sees that kind of combat, this is a Souls-like game. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it isn't. Do you know what
Mm.
Souls-like actually is?
No, because
I mean,
they
like
just
that's like
group it
comparing it
together.
like, what is it? Like the Darksiders 3. That's a Souls-like game. No, it
it's
isn't.
not.
Journalist
hack and
mode.
slash.
I
What are you
need
talking
all
about?
Souls games to come with journalist mode. There we go.
Okay, but what journalist mode?
Aw.
Game reviewer journalist mode, or the guy that did the Cuphead
Wow.
review? Because the
Yeah,
Cuphead
press
review
me.
was different.
Like yeah,
The
like,
Cuphead review, dude. Whatever
Yeah.
happened to him?
I probably went back to writing business articles.
Yeah, that was
No
something.
idea.
I remember everybody was talking about that. That was
I felt
crazy.
bad
But
for
listen,
him.
we're gonna jump right into the first topic because it took over the internet last week when Phil Spencer went on the XCast, right? And there's people on both sides of the spectrum, and no one's really neutral about his comments. Everyone's either saying, "Thank you so much, Phil Spencer, for being so brave and speaking so honestly," and then some people are saying, "What the F are you doing waving a white flag? What do you mean?" I think the most controversial opinion, I'm not going to pull everything or quote everything how it is, so you guys know the context of the stuff he said. Go back and do. We're not doing the whole, but the context, not doing that, okay? We're going to talk about something in particular, things that he said. One thing in particular that drove the community crazy was the comment about just going out and making great games. You know, people aren't going to all of a sudden sell their PlayStation 5. Of course they won't, right? But to say it's not just about making great games, I think that's the part that stuck with a lot of people, because at the end of the day, no matter where you console war, no matter how you console war, you cannot overlook a game that is amazing. And if you want to play a game, you're going to go play the game. Now, we know for a fact Xbox is not, their number one goal is not to push the console, it's to push Game Pass, right? And Microsoft does not care if you buy an Xbox or not. You can have a PC and play Game Pass. That's all they care about you doing, right? So for a lot of people, it was the issue of, well, it's not just about, we can't just go out and make a bunch of great games and people all of a sudden switch over. I think that was the key point for a lot of people, at least for me. But Erica, I want to start with you as one of our guests for the evening. Your thoughts on the Phil Spencer XCast interview, and some of it, and where you kind of lay in the things he was putting out, as far as, you know, telling people, hey, we lost the worst generation, which was last generation, which the worst generation to lose, because that was the beginning of everyone building a digital library. With him speaking on, it's not just about making great games. Your thoughts on this Phil Spencer interview?
Oh, it's a lot to unpack. I did watch it. I did see the clips before I watched the whole thing, you know, the kind of out of context clips. And I seen the Xbox dudes were kind of like, no, there's more context. It's not just this, you know. So I watched the whole thing. And he is right about them losing that generation being the worst one to lose, because it is true. Yeah, everybody's kind of building their digital libraries, and just the fact that it set PS4 up to just do crazy numbers even more so. Like, even myself, you know, I'm one of those who, I was on the 360 very heavy because of Gears and other games. And then I got an Xbox One and was not happy with it. And the PS4 was killing it with games that were starting to come out, like when Bloodborne came out and after that. So I made the switch. So right up front, when I heard him say this about, oh, great games aren't going to make people switch, I was like, hello, I did it. You know, that's what immediately came to my mind. Like, I'll do it again. If something's on a console, like Zelda, for example, I went and bought this freaking new Zelda console. I went and got it, you know, and I know I'm probably the exception. So I think about it in that way too. There's like two sides of it. It's like, I get it. Like there's not everybody could do that because sometimes, you know, for whatever reason. So I get that he's trying to make it that way of like, oh, people are not just going to sell their PS5s and they're going to go switch and get you know, an Xbox because sometimes they can't do that. But I think a lot of us, even if we disagree on this whole thing, in the end, we do agree that great games are important. They need great games, even if they're just going to push Game Pass. If that's the goal, it's like he still shouldn't have said that, because I feel like everyone's going to hang on to that thinking, okay, so what's up? Are you gonna not? I know some people are thinking, oh, they're not gonna make great games. It's like, no, he didn't really say that, but people are gonna take that and think that. And I think it was just a bad time to say that, and it probably came out wrong. And I guess that's all I really have to say on it for now. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Very complex.
You know, to think about that, you said it, the way he said it and what he said it, he maybe didn't mean it necessarily that way, but you said it in a public space, and that's what people are going to take from it, you know?
Right.
And what I think the biggest issue for a lot of people is, why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't, if I have a PlayStation, right?
Exactly.
And you're building great games on Xbox, I don't have to get rid of my PlayStation to play my Xbox, right?
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people, including myself, my primary console is Xbox, but I keep a PlayStation for the exclusives. So if you're not a PC gamer, you're a straight up console gamer, you have a PC just for work stuff, you have a PlayStation 5 for everything, and get the Xbox for exclusives. I don't understand why it has to be one or the other. But Keith, I'm just going to go over you as the other guest of the evening and get your thoughts on Phil Spencer's
Come on,
interview.
Keith.
Well, to be honest, I thought everything he said was honest, but at the same time, I'm actually sitting in the middle. You can't have a platform do well without great games. And I've been around the block a couple times. I was there before PlayStation actually had the games that everybody wanted to play, and Xbox was kicking butt. Towards the end of the PlayStation 3, and when PlayStation 4 came out and Xbox One dropped the ball, things have gone the other way. The Xbox needs to put out games. That's just it. But as the argument I keep having with all my friends is, Game Pass is what is pushing them to go further, because they have left the console space. People don't understand that. They're like, oh, Xbox is giving up. No, they haven't given up. You can play Xbox games on your phone, on your Steam Deck if you hack it. G-Cloud. You'll be able to play it on the upcoming Rock Ally. You can play it on your PC. How many different places can you now play Xbox games? Now they need to have the games to take advantage of that ecosystem. They're not here to compete against PlayStation anymore. I mean, Game Pass only came out because they were getting a butt beat. We can all agree with that. They were backed into a corner. Game Pass came out, and all of a sudden, hey, we're going to focus on Game Pass. Once they get the games, they'll be in a much better position. Will they be PlayStation? Probably not. But at the same time, Phil's already said they're not trying to do that. It's just like Nintendo. Nobody can compete with Nintendo. Nintendo can have the most busted, weakest console and terrible online, which they do. But look at them. They got Mario. They got Zelda. They got Smash. And people will play it in droves. Look at Zelda come out Friday. How many people went out and brought their brand new Zelda console? Who already had a Switch and went out and bought another one?
I thought about it.
It's gonna sell bangers too, which is.
I didn't buy it though.
So exactly, that's my point. Nintendo knows what they're doing. Xbox is trying to get into the same boat. If I can play the next Gears game on my PC and on my Xbox and on my phone and on a tablet and on my Steam Deck or whatever else is out there, that's money. Game Pass is going to print money. That's money. That's what they're focusing on. The problem is a lot of people that are focused on consoles are like, well, PlayStation is the best. That's nice. You sold 20 billion consoles, whatever. That's great. Did you know there's like 60 billion PCs out there and Xbox is playing games on them? Hey, guess who's winning right now, guys?
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say.
Can I say something too? Because it's coming back to me, like why I was kind of like on the side of like, Phil, what the freak are you talking about? So because people are like, no, Erica, it's because, you know, they're not going to beat PlayStation right now. I'm like, yeah, we understand that. We all know that. They're not going to catch PlayStation. But my thing was like, well, why can't they still be killing it at third place or second place. Because you see Nintendo, they're second, or PlayStation is second. They flip, it switches every month or
Goes back
whatever.
and forth, yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody's second, but they're both killing it. They're both
They
selling amazingly. So I always felt like, well, why can't Xbox still be third and do that? And everybody was like, well, no, they can be, Erica. That's what he's saying. I'm like, okay, here's the thing though. He was talking about how the what was it, like the conversation of us saying, he's like, I hear the commentary, I hear it, that if we just make great games, that things will just poof, be different. And it's like, no, the problem is, Phil, that conversation's been going on since the Xbox One. We've been saying this for years. Great games will make you sell this Xbox Series X and S better. But that didn't happen. Where were the games? Halo came out as it was, trash, right? People think it's trash. You got Gears that's on, they're not really at its height anymore. Freaking Redfall, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, horrible. Like it's just game after game, just disappointment after disappointment. The games just weren't really doing that great, and that's why it makes me frustrated, because it's like, yeah, you hear the commentary now, Phil. He's trying to make it like it's right now, like we're just saying this right now. That's what it sounds like. It's like, no, we've been saying this since last gen, and so that's what I think gets me. And now I kind of feel like these Xbox fans who are like hanging on, like, no, you don't get it. They're going to use this now, like, well, see, Phil was right. They're never going to catch up. It's like kind of like loser mentality, it sounds like. That's just kind of where I was like, he shouldn't have said that in that way.
You know where Xbox stands out? If we're just going to talk pure console, we're not going to talk PC and all that. Their custom consoles, that Black Panther console, I will fight a toddler for that Black Panther console.
I'm saying, and then they didn't even sell it. They only gave it to specific people. Like they.
Can we
didn't
not talk about that? I
sell.
really hate when they do that. That's not.
I
talking
hate
about
it.
this.
Okay.
I hate it.
I was hurt. Look, I've been hurt. I brought it up on Black Voices in Gaming every time I could.
PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 even, their custom consoles were kind of like, oh, you just slapped a sticker on this. But
They're
Xbox,
trash.
like, they carve into the console, they carve into the system. The Gears one was beautiful, outstanding.
They did
PlayStation's always been like
They use
that.
lasers.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember
if
when
we
I
just-
bought the PSP for
PSP.
Crisis Core when it first came out. Yeah, it was a while ago. And I was super excited because it was like an exclusive and you got the game with it. And it was just a regular PSP. And then they gave you a sticker that you could put on it.
No.
I was so mad. Yeah, I was so mad.
And then they
Des,
get mad at
while
people
we got
for
you-
offering
well-
customization.
Yes.
While we got you, Des, I do want to get your thoughts on this. I always love it when we really get into this side because you have the brain of both consumer and industry side, which I love. But first, I was uncomfortable, right? Shout out to Valari for sending me another pillow, baby. shout out to them for sending me this pillow. I love this pillow, man.
I need to get
with
one.
the Master Chief on there. I
Okay,
think it's
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't podcast or game without this pillow.
No,
I'm be
no.
honest. It's a mandatory.
Can I
accessory.
stop you for a second? So, are you another person that doesn't feel comfortable unless they have a pillow around them, or you're laying on a pillow, or anything of that nature? Like watching TV, you need a pillow around you, or something like that.
When my wife was pregnant, I used to take her pillow a lot. But then once she lost the not
Are you
lost the
crazy?
my baby's born, my baby. But like, when she's no longer pregnant, she stopped using it, so I stopped using it. But when I got this pillow, like the one I got from the Iron Lords, and then the one Valari sent me, I can't not sit at this table without it. So now I have to be wrapped all the time. Big boys need love too. We got to be wrapped and hugged and feel great.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm 10 pounds down, and I'm about to pull out my middies.
Ew.
I'm getting sexy over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about to get real over here. But Des,
Yes.
your thoughts on Uncle Phil and his comments about Xbox and great games.
I think a lot of people are upset with what he said, but I think what he said is like the future of where Microsoft is going. Like they don't necessarily need to make great games if they can get other people to make great games and have them on Game Pass, which is kind of like what you're seeing moving into the future. Like they're having other developers make. I think this is happening like throughout the industry where they're bringing in a lot more smaller developers to make these niche games and putting them on their like exclusives and their Game Pass. I got not in an argument, but in a debate on Grown Women Gaming because I said Microsoft doesn't care about Xbox. Xbox, the people who work for Xbox care about Xbox, but Microsoft themselves do not care about Xbox. And I think that conversation that Phil has should really clue people in. For Microsoft, PlayStation and these other game companies it's never been their focus. That's not their competition. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that. If they could get all of their games on Game Pass, guarantee you they're just going to stop making Xbox. It's not going to matter. It's going to become obsolete. So,
Man,
I don't know. I'm not upset or angry.
This is a lot of people off.
Yeah, can't argue that. Yeah.
But I mean, like,
true.
it's just the way things are going. If they wanted to be better, and this was my statement when I was on Grown Woman Gaming. If they wanted to be better, they have the money to do it. So why aren't they doing it? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, why aren't they doing it? They have buku money. They have more money than Sony. They have more money than Nintendo, but they're not doing it. And that's because that's not their main focus, and it hasn't been their main focus for a while now. So I feel bad for people who are like Xbox stans, but like times are changing. And when he says we don't have to make great games, he's absolutely right. He doesn't have to make great games. Xbox themselves doesn't have to make great games, but they can get other people who make fantastic games and put it on Game Pass and still be very successful.
But you know what sucks about that? And we got to follow a super chat from Steph. Big boys for life. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna pull the middies out. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. But that's
Oh my god.
I can't get behind that because yes, third parties is what moves the gaming industry, right? The gaming industry doesn't move without third party, and I get that, right? But as far as Game Pass goes, it is brutally devalued because of Microsoft's first party, right? Because if it's just about third party, then I would subscribe to PlayStation Plus, right? The PlayStation Plus does almost the same games for the most part than Xbox. What made Xbox and Xbox Game Pass stick out was first party, day and date, right? That's what made it stick out. And you looking at stuff like Redfall was super hyped. It's like, hey, spend 70 or day one at Game Pass. That brought value to Game Pass, right? The third party stuff is great, but it's not like we're getting a bunch of big AAA day one third party titles. It's more of the indie stuff, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. But what drove, I think, a lot of people to Game Pass versus PlayStation Plus is the day and date first party titles. And unfortunately, and I'm writing an article on this right now, unfortunately, and I know this sounds weird to say, but Microsoft's first party games are devaluing Game Pass.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound as sexy no more. It's not it can't be the best deal in gaming when I'm not getting my money's worth.
That's why I don't think they care.
But you are and you're right. The first parties are devaluing. We're not gonna argue that. Look at Redfall, because that is somebody put it. I think it was Red put it in the chat. Redfall is popcorn game. That is a game that is so bad it's good. It's like watching Joe Dirt. But I've got my value because I get to play Persona on Game Pass. I get to play all the Yakuza games.
Huge.
Like, I get to play Ravenlock now. Ravenlock is fantastic. Penitence, like a whole bunch of games that aren't first party, but we all know first party, the AAA is not what carries the gaming industry. It's the third party. And I think maybe we latch on to what Phil says as like this is the end all be all, this is the statement, but sometimes like when he comes onto camera, he's got stuff in the background. You kind of got to read between the lines, but also if you read between the lines too much, then you make up your own theories and then it gets weird. So I don't know. I think his statement might have been taken out of context here, but at the end of the day, we all love games. And Erica's right. I will go play. I will launch my PS4 right now, jet engine and all, to go play a PlayStation exclusive. I will hop platforms to go
jet
play
engine and all. Yeah.
Oh, it's so
that
loud.
thing take off.
Dame and I played It Takes Two. It was you could hear it in the background.
It's so funny though.
Put it in his mouth. Do we touch
I do stand corrected. Some people pointed out the game Wolong was day one. Atomic Heart was day one. Those are AAA games.
But they're
What's up? What's up with more people beating it on PlayStation though? I saw that people beating it on Wulong and not on Xbox. What's up?
Which,
You guys can't
which
hang.
I saw a lot of people who have a PC or an Xbox and they still played it on PlayStation.
You know
Because
why though?
PlayStation
Wulong
has
might
become
be.
home.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. I was gonna say it might be a little different thing because it did launch pretty broken on PC.
Yeah, that's a big
So-
thing
Bad.
right there.
It's bad.
That
That
could
was
be a
something-
reason.
That was something I wanted to circle back when it was stated that Xbox might get out of consoles, and I don't think that'll ever be the thing, because again, we have Xbox on PC. PC games are complex, and I've been PC gaming since I was like 7. They're complex, they're hardware driven, and as we've seen for the last 2 years, they come out busted. I would rather play my game on my Xbox than play it on a PC if I know the game is busted. Great example was Elden Ring. I love it on a PC, but I love when I'm playing and I'm fighting real good, and then it stutters like that. And it's like,
Yes.
I can play on my PC just fine. Dark Souls 3 still stutters on PC occasionally. Plays great on the Xbox. I loved it when the 60 frames per second patch came out. I was like, finally, it was on PlayStation 4 for how long? Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Hmm.
So
I think like what people
Yeah.
don't take into account is that like when you're patching games for different ports, like there are different things are going to break, and there's so much that you have to change within the coding in the background when you port it to a different system. And so a lot of people are like, why is it breaking on this and not breaking on that? Or why is it acting like this on this platform and not like that platform? When developers usually decide to make a game, and this is not like just AAA, but they build it for one, test it on one, and then if they get that and it's golden, then they'll move on to test it. They're not simultaneously building these games for different platforms. They build it for one, get it golden, and then they port it over to another. And there are always issues when they port it over to another because that game isn't originally made for that. And the further we get in the future, the bigger the games get, the more we put in the games, the more we're going to have these issues when it's across different platforms.
I was thinking that maybe, that one, it might be less of an issue because we're getting to a point where the architectures are all similar now. We're not like back in the day. It was like this was using this super chipset and this was using this chipset. Now they're using x86, and we're getting closer. Even still, that because I'm writing an article about that as well, about why things are different, why there's a problem with porting things to the PC, and just the fact that we have like minimum configuration, recommending configuration, maximum configuration, when it really should be no minimum configuration whatsoever. That needs to go out the window. That needs to be gone.
Speak.
Hey,
Speak.
shout out to Bordy who secured her pillow. You about your life in the change, Bucko.
I love how you also ignore
Polari pillow.
that she said, "Who's bringing the double meat, and I'll bring the mayo for this sandwich." I love how you ignored that one too, because Bordy out here
I
wild.
saw
Of course,
that
I'm
one.
Alex ain't here, so listen.
But Erica's.
Bringing the
Listen.
mayo. What does that
Listen.
mean?
But I
Alex is
think
trying to make a
for
sandwich.
majority of gamers, I think to wrap this topic up, and I'm hoping at the grand scheme of things, this is really what's on the mind of Xbox and on the mind of Phil Spencer. Just make great games. That's all we care about. The pity back and forth fighting and screaming and yelling and yada yada yada. One thing we know for sure, for absolute fact, gamers are full of shite.
Can we go back to the days of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be
mean,
awesome.
Yes.
You played the games on either console. They had games you wanted to play. The rivalry was fun. People enjoyed it. And it was a great time. It was like probably the best time in gaming ever.
And the games were different, man.
Yeah.
I think that's because like
the
also
third parties.
they aimed it towards a younger generation, and now we've grown up, and now the games have grown up with us. Like a lot of them are like so different now. If you really look at the games that came out in the 90s, like a lot of our parents weren't playing those games. It wasn't aimed at that generation. Now they're trying to make games that are growing up with the generation they started with, and I think it's just been very, very difficult for them. And the community just expects more and more and more with each game, each console, and I think they're having problems keeping up. And for anybody who's like, they're not having problems, literally just look at the issues that come out right when, like, people who buy a system the day it drops, and then all the bitching that happens that comes behind that because it's broken or it's not working or all of these things. They're trying to outdo themselves, and I think they need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Take their time more, not rush it.
You'll never hear my voice. However, just make sure Hellblade 2 is right. That's all I care. I don't care for Starfield. I'm sorry. I don't care. If Hellblade 2 really is dropping this year, which that's the rumor, right? If Hellblade 2 was fire, all is forgiven in my opinion. Because that's been my most anticipated game since 2017, since I played the first one, right? You make great games, they will come. They don't have to get rid of their PlayStation or Nintendo to get an Xbox. If Xbox, I think I can't remember which one of you ladies said it, but you can kill it in third place. You can kill it in third place. You can make hand over fist if you continue to make games and make good games. Hellblade is interactive boredom. No,
I'm just confused. Like, who's getting rid of their other systems? Like, are people literally getting rid of their other systems and buying a new one?
Never believe those fake.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, just don't play it and play another one. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna get rid of my PlayStation. It's like those people who got mad at Nike, I think, and they were like burning their shoes. Like, the fucking point is that, like, just buy the other console. You don't have to get rid of the one you already have.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because
you can
again,
have both.
gamers are liars. We're full of shite. How many times was the people say they're gonna boycott Call of Duty and then it ended up?
Please, ain't nobody gonna boycott Call of Duty.
You know what I'm saying? Like, gamers are liars, bro. They're performative. They say
I don't want to be input. I don't like these blanket statements. I'm not like that. I'm
sorry. The loud
majority. Okay.
The loud people.
The loud one.
I want to boycott A, B, and C.
Yeah.
They're not going to boycott anything. If the game is fun, if the game looks good to them, they're going to buy it.
You know what I do, Des? Is I just go, look, and I said this with Diablo 4 before I realized that game might have some issues. It's like, I know the problems with Blizzard, and I fully support the people that, you know, are going through these issues. But if I don't buy this game or if I don't play it, it's at the end of the day, it's not going to change it for them, because people are still going to boycott it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to change it. And while I'm playing it, I'm going to talk about the issues. But I fully endorse, like, I'm not going to flip-flop. If the game is fun and my friends are playing it, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play Overwatch too, even though it's...
I'm terrible at Overwatch, so that's why I don't play it. I'm just really bad at it.
Mercy main.
It's like the saying.
All gamers speak Japanese.
I'm really bad at it.
What's the saying where it's like it's easy to boycott something you weren't going to buy anyways? You know, that's kind of the thing. It's like the outrage and
there you go.
I would never buy this game. It's like, well, you were going to buy it anyways.
Yeah, you were going to buy it anyway.
Listen. I've always said this because, like, From Software, if it turns out they're on serious crunch, something crazy's going on over there, as long as it's not like super crazy, like people getting murdered or something, I'm probably going to buy their game. Like, because I love From Software, I love their games, and so yeah, that's just so true. If you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. If you're not gonna buy it, it'd be easy to make outrage videos and cry about it on Twitter. It's just how it is.
And then you sneak.
I think the only time I've boycotted anything, I think, is when like the controversy at first came out about Ubisoft and all the sexual harassment there, and then all the sexual harassment at Blizzard, and then I didn't buy any of that stuff. Like. And even the games I had, I didn't like keep playing them because I didn't want to like support that. But yeah, I think that's the only time I've ever boycotted something and really wanted. I can't even remember what the game was, but really wanted a game, and I was like, nah, man, I gotta stand by my scruples. Said I wasn't gonna do it.
You're stronger than me.
Hogwarts Legacy.
I got a game about choice with the super chat. He says, "I've been gaming since the 70s. It has changed tremendously. I think technology has changed how we see gaming.
That's true.
To Red Dead Redemption 2, great. So thank you for following Super Chat Game about choice, and that's facts.
It's true.
I like that. I don't know.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
I haven't had
What's that movie?
Sorry.
That
was like, damn, double homicide.
The kid from Wonder Years was in.
I didn't mean anything by that.
What was that called? It was like a gaming competition. What's his name? Lil Savage, Fred Savage?
Fred Savage.
What was the name of that movie?
The Wizard.
But
was it?
yes, yeah. I remember that. I remember watching that and just being like in awe, like of how gaming was back then. Because gaming used to just be like really arcades. Nobody had a home system
I
anymore,
miss
right?
arcades so
Mhm.
much.
So like
Man.
there was no crazy
Mhm.
competition. And something I wanted to bring up is like when you brought up Nintendo, Nintendo has like they started when nobody else started, so they always have like those main characters and they have so much nostalgia with those characters that like they can do nothing wrong. Like they could come out with a broken Mario game and you're still probably
They
gonna buy it
sold us
because it's
cardboard.
Mario. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
remember that.
they know how to market their game, and for a really long time Japan did not care about the Western market. They didn't give a shit about us.
That's
We
true.
just really liked their games, and so they sold them here too. So I think Nintendo is not really in competition with like they are in competition just because they are also like they produce games, but I think Nintendo's like we're fine if we just do shit for Japan. Like we're set.
And
They are the
look at
Apple of
Fame.
gaming. They don't care.
They do not care. Yeah.
Look at Fame. He was playing Pokemon. He was watching that person walk by at 4 frames per second and was like, "This is good. I'm having fun." No.
So much fun.
See, that's what I understand.
But let my
Like,
Xbox game do that. I'm gonna
See-
throw a fit.
Yup.
see, why are we giving Nintendo a pass, but you're
'Cause-
not willing to give Xbox a pass? Like that, no
Because
facts. Like,
Nintendo
why
said
is
that.
that okay? Nintendo
Exactly.
gets
Here's
so
the
many
thing.
passes.
No. Here's the thing. I've bought the Switch I have, the day one Switch. I've had that same Switch. Okay. You know why I give Microsoft a little bit more crap than I would even Nintendo. Microsoft is my preferred platform. I know we got to switch topics. I'm gonna finish this part. Microsoft my preferred platform. I bought an Xbox One day one. I bought a Xbox One X day one. Xbox One S. I have an Xbox Series S. I have an Xbox Series X. I got controllers out of the ass. I've given them so much of my money.
That's
Yeah.
why you gotta stop giving
Don't
them so
forget.
Yeah.
much of your
So
money
he got
until
the
they
fancy
are giving you the kind of stuff that you want to get. If you keep giving them money, they can keep producing shit. You have to talk with your
but here's
pocket.
the thing. It's where I play all of my third party stuff. I support PlayStation as well, but just for exclusive. But all of my third party stuff is all done on Xbox, right? Especially when you get the whole this is the most powerful console, so all the third parties are supposed to run. They're supposed to run at its best on this console, and that's not necessarily happening anymore. So yes, I do give Nintendo more of a pass than I would Xbox because I hold Xbox to a higher standard because they have more of my money than Nintendo has. But we do have to switch topics. I got a gaming laptop. Do I game a laptop? Somebody
does
say get a
have a gaming
PC. I need to build a PC.
You
This-
do
this
need to
3060
build a
doing me good right
PC.
now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't
I'm
have
good
one
at
yet.
them.
I thought you did.
No, he's been PC or
Huh?
laptop.
Gaming, I got my 1060 somewhere, and then I got this 3060. I'm good, but I
Yeah.
prefer to play on console. But I do want to switch topics. Just because it's time to be on. I know. Don't shame me, chat.
Shaming.
I just would have
Rumors are running.
assumed with doing content and stuff, having a PC, I just would have
All
assumed.
laptop.
Laptop,
Wow.
it's better for me, especially when you go to different conventions. I literally have I have it all right here. I just up and go. But now that I got that, my 1060 had busted. I got it fixed, but I got the 3060. Now my 1060 is we're going to PAX. I can take my content and stuff with me and write articles on the go. But I do want to switch topics because rumors are floating around that Konami has struck a deal with PlayStation,
boy.
and that PlayStation may be getting a exclusive Metal Gear Solid remake, getting an exclusive Castlevania game, right? This is fresh off the heels of people complaining that exclusivity is bad because Microsoft is trying to buy Activision Blizzard. That's another conversation we want to dive into. But I want to swing back to our guest, Eric. I'm gonna go to you. Your thoughts on the rumors of PlayStation securing these big time Konami games? I mean, these would be you're gonna move systems with these games.
For sure. But you were kind of hinting at it, the whole hypocrisy a little bit with the fans. It's bad when Xbox does it, but then everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna buy Konami. Let's
When
go.
they do it, it's a
Let's
problem.
go,
when I do it.
Sony." I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, I used to play Castlevania a lot when I was a kid, so I'm a fan. So I just want to see new Castlevania. I don't care where it's at. Like, I'm gonna buy it wherever it's at. So to me, like the whole exclusivity thing, I don't really complain because I have everything and I'm just gonna buy it wherever. And that's kind of why I laugh at the whole people complaining about it. But that's another topic. But yeah, I just want to see new Castlevania. I hope that's true. But yeah, it would be a big deal. I feel like it wouldn't be crazy. I feel like it makes sense if PlayStation went after them. I feel like they kind of feels like they could go together, you know.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't be surprised. It would be pretty big news. And they're rumoring about this whole Sony showcase, right? That's supposed to happen, and then they're gonna announce it there or something like that. So
supposedly it's supposed to be before Microsoft's event. That's the rumor right now.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Sony always won, you know, what am I trying to say? Getting the upper hand.
Typically, like back in E3, they always went after Xbox, which I thought was a smart move because people's lasting impression will be your showcase.
Right.
So it's weird to hear the rumors that might be going before Microsoft. It's weird.
That's true. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, I remember thinking that when E3 was still relevant and we were doing the E3 thing, they would always go last and people would just forget about Xbox. Xbox would have like a day of shine with like if they showed Gears or something, like, oh, you see the new Gears? All right, let's go. And then everybody would just forget. It was all about Sony.
It was over.
It happened all the time.
They might know that Xbox doesn't really have anything to show, so they're not really worried about it. Also, I think
Xbox better have a lot to show. But that's
you just want to see Hellblade.
Another day. I'm just saying. But Keith, is this if it's true that Konami is struck into PlayStation, right? And we're getting multiple remakes of their games exclusive to PlayStation. Is this a bigger win for PlayStation or a bigger loss for Xbox?
It's a bigger loss for Xbox. Think about this. There are gamers who grew up with Castlevania and are playing either PlayStation or Xbox. I played it nonstop on Nintendo when I was younger. And I always hated the fact that it was on Nintendo and not on Sega's consoles until later on when we got one or two or if you imported them. But this generation, you're let me back up real quick. I hate the fact that we have third-party companies making games exclusively for one platform. You're a third-party company. Why are you doing this? Konami, why would you do this? Square Enix, why are you doing this?
They're getting paid lots
You're
of
getting
money.
paid. But yet, when Microsoft does stuff like that, it's a bad thing. Sony does it. Oh, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. That's wrong. It should be either way. But yet, people complain when Xbox was working with Bethesda. Not only, but working. People have to remember, back in the day, Microsoft and Bethesda worked hand in hand. That's why they had the Mass Effect games and the Elder Scrolls games on Xbox first. It wasn't until years later that it finally got on PlayStation. And it sucked. Because if I had a PlayStation and I wanted to play those games, I had to buy an Xbox. And what if I couldn't afford an Xbox? So now you're going to do the same thing again and go, oh, hey, this is great for everybody. How is it great for everybody? You're going to make it on PlayStation. What if it doesn't come to PC as well? Because I'm a majority. Play most of my games on PC. What if it doesn't come to PC?
Not to put it on PC.
Excuse me. Final Fantasy VII Remake didn't come on PC to win.
Technically, it was on PC. You just had to visit
it was supposed
the bay.
to be PC first. It was supposed to come the same day, and it didn't happen. Final Fantasy 16. Where's the PC version?
It'll be on the bay.
It'll be,
If you're
at some point.
sailing dangerous waters.
It's like one of those things where I'll wait.
Right, but that's the thing. Third-party companies should not be making games exclusively for one platform. That is terrible. It's terrible.
Not even. Do you mean period or like timed? Timed exclusivity. I get it.
Period.
I mean,
though, if
it
you're
depends
paying
if they're
me,
bought. I mean, if they're bought and acquired, and that changes things.
Right, if you're acquired. But these backroom money making deals, like PlayStation does a lot, and if Xbox does it, or there's even rumors of Xbox doing it, no, they can't be doing this. But PlayStation does it, it's fine. Now, I know some people will go, well, PlayStation's a better console. I'm not here for that noise. I really don't care about that. Third party means you're making it for everybody. You want to be a first party company? Go to PlayStation. Please acquire me. Or become a second party company. But don't do this. That's nonsense. I know some people are going to say this is the way the industry works. The industry works on exclusives. I get that. But a third party company should not be making exclusives. We've moved past this. We're not back in the days of Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and whatnot. Third party games are replacing PC. Okay, how about this? What if Madden never hit any other platform or PlayStation?
That would be unbelievable.
With
I'd be like,
with,
no way.
with the now here's the caveat: do they still have that exclusive NFL license?
Does it matter?
Yeah, because if they don't have an exclusive NFL license, I would tell Xbox to go make another goddamn football game.
But everybody,
2K.
the way it works is they have the license. I don't till whenever the hell that expires, if ever.
So yeah, so if Madden was on your PlayStation and Madden had the exclusive rights to NFL, then yeah, you would be salty.
So what about this? Not the same thing, but would you agree that having a game that should be playable for everybody is only on one platform? To me, in my mind, it's like this.
What defines should be playable for everybody?
Everybody who has a console, okay, if it can be played on PlayStation, it can be played on a PC, it can be played on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Why make a deal and keep it on PlayStation exclusively when you can make more money by putting it on other platforms?
Because PlayStation and or Xbox went to them and wrote them a fat check for money up front they couldn't refuse.
That's
And there's
really
the
what
problem.
it is. That is
Just
because
money.
some of it's not just like, hey, let's get the money. Some of it's like, we're gonna give you the money so you can finish your game plus an extra incentive. And if like they need that money to finish their game or to do the things that they want to do with their game and nobody else is stepping in to do that, then they're absolutely going to take that money.
And you would think the industry would learn from that. You bring up a very good situation. What happened with Bayonetta? It's exactly what happened with that. And everybody's complaining, why can't we get it on Xbox? Why we can't on PlayStation? Because nobody wanted to help Sega fund it. Nintendo stepped in and went, we got you. And now one of the best action adventure games is stuck on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, that could be part of your answer right there. Sometimes it's just how the cards fall. Like they need the money, they don't have enough, and then once platform steps up and says, "Hey, we're gonna get that exclusive on our platform, and we'll help you build this game."
Look
Yep.
at
Now, when do you
Rise
think
of
that
the Tomb
Xbox,
Raider.
who has more money than PlayStation, would probably go, hey, I heard you work with PlayStation. How about we give you more money?
Then
They
Xbox
don't.
should do it.
Now,
Like-
again, I really don't care what I'm talking about. I don't want anybody to think that I care about Xbox or PlayStation. I don't care about either platform. I go where the games are. That is it. I don't care if it's on an Atari 2600, Commodore 64, PlayStation Vita, Dreamcast. They're still making games for that. I will go and play it wherever it's at. Done. If I can't afford it, I'll wait. I'll stack my money until I can.
Listen, I'll say this. I got an interview that's dropping next week, and one of the parts of the interview that I'm going to keep in there is sort of this way. This was a smaller scale because it was an indie developer, but when they talked about the game being it's launching exclusively on Xbox and PC, but it's later coming to PlayStation and Switch. And when we asked about that, it was because, hey, we needed to get this published, and Microsoft stepped up. They were the ones who stepped up. But no one else was stepping up to for us to get this game published, get this game done. They did. So a lot of this money, I don't have a problem with third-party exclusivity, as long as it's timed. And I'm not talking what PlayStation. 2 years time exclusivity. I can't get jiggy with that.
Don't you love
or
that?
forever exclusivity. If it's timed, I don't have an issue with it. If it's third party, I just don't like the whole with Final Fantasy VII. We all heard and seen it's timed console exclusivity, but that's actually a permanent console exclusivity because it's not coming to Xbox, it's not coming to Switch. Those I have an issue with, especially if you come out and say, hey, timed console exclusivity, when you know damn well you're not going to let this game release on Xbox. But for the most part, I have no issue with it.
But you know what?
I know MLB The Show was...
They do have to eventually release it if it was in their marketing, because if you do not release it, the legal side that somebody could bury their company in saying you promised it on this console. That's why you see a lot of games change their marketing very quickly if they know they're not going to be on there. If they do not release something on a console that was promised right up until like release date, if it's like within 6 months of the game releasing, that class action lawsuit, no company wants to go through because the customer is going to win. They said you up until 6 months of launch said this was going to be in. I put my pre-order. I did this. they kind of have to release it, because now you're holding people's money ransom, you're holding this game ransom when you promised within 6 months of release that your marketing still showed this game was coming out. This game was going to be on this platform. They can delay it, they can whatever, but if the original release date said this, they have to. Otherwise, that is such a legal nightmare.
If they did pre-sales, absolutely. But if they didn't do pre-sales, then they can just change their mind. If they didn't do pre-sales, then they can just change their mind. Did they say what other consoles they were going to release it on?
And that's the thing.
And that's the loophole.
They could say, hey, we want this to be console exclusive to us for 2 years. After that, you're going to do what you want to do. That doesn't mean the maker has to go put it on the other platform.
Exactly. And that's the loophole. If they didn't do pre-sales, if they didn't do pre-sales on other consoles and they didn't name drop any other consoles, then you're shit out of luck. Yeah, they're good. They're golden.
But if they named it, they have to.
True. That's true.
I'm gonna switch gears one more time. I do want to talk about this. Well, first, if you guys have hit that like button, it helps us out a whole bunch of the stream out. I do want to talk about this greatest 100 games of all time. Some of our people, that we rock with, the Jez Cordons, the Shinobis of the world, they were a part of this GQ article of the top 100 games of all time. Okay. And I'm just going to read out the top 10 because that's 100 games. I'm not going through 100 games. I'm on top 10. I want to get y'all thoughts about this and tell me what game is not in this top 10 you feel needs to be in the top 10. So number 10 was Half-Life 2. Number 9, Dark Souls. Number 8, Portal 2. Number 7, Metal Gear Solid, which we said might be getting remade, exclusive for PlayStation. Mass Effect 2. The Witcher 3. Bloodborne. Tetris, The Last of Us, and number 1, Breath of the Wild. Keith, I want to start with you. Out of these top 10, is there any game here that shouldn't be in this top 10? And what game or games you believe should have cracked the top 10 of greatest games of all time? And this panel was 300 devs, journalists, streamers, and more.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this top 10 list?
This is probably going to cause me to get some shade on the internet, but The Last of Us, number 2.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I'm with you.
No way in hell. Come on.
Is this out of all the games ever created, or just like?
Yeah, this is all ever created.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a problem with that already.
The first thing I did when I saw this list was look through it to see if there's anything in there. There's no Ridge Racer, the game that revolutionized arcade racing on home platforms. Not even there. Not there. Why isn't Street Fighter 2 number at least top 10? We would not be where we are right now in fighting games without Street Fighter 2.
Yep.
So why isn't that there? I got so much to say about this list that I probably don't want to say here. So I won't.
Trying to make enemies.
I don't care about the enemies. I'm worried about the PR people. I see you have terrible taste. No, I just don't like this list.
Well, that, and I wonder how old a lot of these people were. I'm legit curious because none of those games are any of the older games, and it's just supposed to be
just Tetris.
Throughout the whole that's weird to me. It's only games from the past 20 years that made that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through this list again. No Mega Man.
No
Mega Man.
It might be somewhere in the 100, just not inside the top 10.
Mega Man should definitely be way up there.
Yeah.
You know what it is? What I think when I look at this list, even though I do like a few of them, I feel like they just got the most generic answers. This is something I would guess people would say. The Breath of the Wild, big time. That's not my favorite Zelda. It's a good game, but I'd rather have Ocarina of Time in this list. That's just me. But I just feel like they got the most generic choices, like The Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, even Dark Souls, even though I'm a fan. I just feel like they kind of threw in the popular, these games.
Yeah, that's what they did
right now. And, even Half-Life 2, I see a lot of people talk about that game. I never played it, but it just seems like that generic list that I feel like I could have came up with this list of what I think they would pick. You know what I mean? It's not close to mine, but I just feel like it's just easy to guess, if that makes
You're
sense.
gonna tell me Breath of the Wild is above Skyrim? Skyrim.
Yeah, there's no Skyrim. Yeah, no Skyrim
no
in there.
Skyrim. There's no Pong. Pong, influential.
Pong
Probably
suits
started gaming.
everyone.
There's no
there was
freaking
no
Mario
Halo.
either.
There's no
Mario.
Mario.
There's
No
no Mario.
Earthbound.
I know a lot of
no
people are gonna
Final
hate on
Fantasy.
me.
The original
but-
Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers game came in at 96.
No.
And KOTOR was 100. I'm surprised KOTOR didn't get somewhere closer to the top 10.
Yeah, KOTOR
I'm
should've
surprised it
been
made
in
the
top
list
30.
with these entries.
Yeah.
Um,
There's no
So
perfect.
you got
I mean,
Mass Effect 2 was top 10, but the original Mass Effect was at 92. But
Because Mass
Erica,
that's
Effect
why I
is
think
better.
it's the age. I wonder. That's why I'm serious about. Like, I wonder, like, what age these people were who they asked these questions to. Like, a
well, they got
majority
Mario
of them.
Odyssey, which came out in 2017. It's at 87.
no.
That seems low.
It
for
has
a
to be
Mario game.
very. It has to be pretty young people who put together
That's the
this
thing.
list. Or,
Like,
I
Jez
don't
and
think
Jeff,
it's-
they're in their 30s.
yeah, but I don't think they were the majority. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think like the list wasn't the majority. This cannot be like the greatest games of all time that have been out there. You know what I'm
That's true.
This
saying?
full list.
Like Pac-Man, I know it's a very simple game, but Pac-Man was fucking influential. Do you know
Yep.
what I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
is that how?
There's no Donkey
Somebody
Kong
pointed out
on
there's
there.
no Sonic the Hedgehog. No Sonic.
There's,
game.
yeah,
No
fucking
Sonic?
Sonic?
Like, yeah. And this
How you
we're-
not
we're
gonna put Sonic on there?
We're not ripping on these people because this is a general list. We know some of the people that are on here. We're not ripping on them. We're just questioning that.
In their
Yeah.
defense, if they put Mario and Sonic in the top 5, wouldn't that kind of been like, almost like a nostalgia thing? Like,
No.
because
the
the
top
last
5
few
was-
games have been actually really good. The last 3 Sonic games have been solid. They've kind of
I mean, the
redeemed
list
franchise.
is the
I'm
top
happy Final
100
Fantasy
greatest
9
games.
makes
of
I
all
mean,
time.
like, shouldn't this also include nostalgia? Where the list is greatest games of all time.
Exactly.
So if you're thinking about greatest games of all time, obviously you're going to pick some older games because it's of all time.
There's no Halo
know?
on there. We didn't hear no Halo. You know, Combat Evolved.
I had a
was
Halo
huge.
Halo
too.
started a whole culture, a whole subculture.
Xbox games. Where's the
Oh.
Xbox games?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Erica, you
scrolling-
went
I'm
and
scrolling
you
through.
bought another Switch. You bought another
I
Switch.
did.
For Zelda. They have Breath of the Wild as the greatest game of all time. Do you concur?
No, I like Breath of the Wild. I mentioned it earlier. Like, I like it. It's a good game, but it's not my
You
favorite Zelda.
You should have
My
brought
favorite
this.
one is
should've
Zelda:
brought this
Link to
up,
the
man.
Past.
Yeah.
I'm going through this list again. There's no Unreal Tournament.
Which is
Mm-hmm.
is there Virtua Fighter? Is there Virtua Fighter on there?
No Quake.
No Quake. Quake is the reason we have
This is
the
list.
games.
Nah.
Is there
They
Doom?
got
Is there
Doom.
Wolfenstein?
They got
I'm
Doom.
surprised
at
they don't have
19.
Mortal Kombat on there. I remember that being like
Right?
the absolute shit when it came out. Like
Mortal Kombat is
they
the
had
reason we
news
have
articles
ratings.
about it. Yeah.
I mean, once you start scrolling through, I do see Doom. I saw Skyrim, Halo's in there, Elden Ring, number
I just
20.
think they're too low.
That's too low.
Yeah, like what's it called? Ocarina
Where's
of Time is
Minecraft?
in there. 13.
That's why I was like, "Where's Minecraft?" That started a whole thing. People like shit on Minecraft a lot. Like you never see it in lists. Like
Number 24.
No,
Minecraft.
Minecraft,
Oh,
is
there's
the best-selling
WoW. WoW's
game
at
of all
22.
time. Oh wow, yeah. Diablo, the
I'm gonna-
originals.
I'm gonna keep scrolling until I see an Xbox game. Oh well, I saw Halo.
What
Okay,
Halo?
never mind. was
I
gonna
think
say,
Halo
saw-
is like the only like true like Xbox exclusive game that's on here. And then I'm sorry, I know people love Final Fantasy VII, but Final Fantasy VII is not better than Final Fantasy IX. I'm sick of it.
Oh
You
my
just
god!
like Dagger's tight little
That's because
booty.
you love it. Final Fantasy IX is literally the baby of 7 and 8. If 7 and 8 got together and had sex multiple times, or even just one time on a drunken night, New Year's Eve, on a balmy Friday afternoon, it would be 9. It would be 9. I
Well-
think 9 is
Why's it
great.
gotta be a
I
Friday
think 9
afternoon?
is great. That's just the
Well,
day
listen,
I picked.
listen,
9 is great.
7 can be Mary and 8 can be Joseph. They had Jesus. And so Jesus is 9,
Oh,
which makes
no.
it better
Oh my
than
god,
Mary
we
and
got-
Joseph.
we got the gospel
wait.
in here.
I would just say it's funny how you said multiple times, like that. It
Yeah.
had to be multiple times.
They
It
was
Okay,
clapping
in real
cheeks.
talk,
before they had a baby.
you can have sex and you don't get pregnant the first time. So I'm saying they're trying.
Okay,
They're
trying.
So you
I hate
meant
here
they
sometimes.
trying. Okay.
They were trying. There's so many elements from both of those games in 9 though. You know what I
Just
mean? Like if you played
100%
all
true.
through 7 and you
Yeah.
played all through 8, like 9 was heavily influenced by both of those games.
You know
Like
what I-
Zidane is just a copy of Cloud, basically.
Oh,
And
100%.
then
Yeah, but he
Garnet
got
is a
a tail,
copy
makes
of.
him better. So
So he's a monkey person.
he
So
has a
he's in
tail, which makes him
Animorphs.
better. So
You know what? I
Vivi
think we
was
can-
super cute. Vivi is, I would say
Vivi-
Vivi's like the dopest
man,
character.
oh, that
Yeah.
ending, bro.
Vivi's fire, yeah.
I think
Love
we can all
Vivi.
agree
Greatest
that
mage
this
of all time.
that while this top 10 is kind of shite, this whole list has some bangers in it, but there's still like there's 300 people, and let's be honest, it's probably social media influencers that were on this list that are most of the social media influencers, the at least the loudest ones and the most popular ones, especially if you go on TikTok, are in their 20s, early 20s.
So I said I think it's
their
an age
teens.
thing.
The fact
could
that
be.
Breath of the Wild is above most of these, like the fact that Tetris or Pong or the games that really started the gaming industry are not number one is kind of a crime. But yes, Pong, we don't play Pong much anymore. Pac-Man, like you said, the fact that Snake is not on there as well, because I know we all played Snake on our phones at some point. The fact that all these games are there.
Snake on the brick phone. I remember
The
that.
bricks.
The brick phone.
We just need to take these for what they are. They are a list of people's opinions. And yes, we can get heated about this for sure, but we're just going to go and keep playing our games. Maybe, you know, at the end of the year, we'll round up this whole panel again and we'll do what was our top games of this year? Because we're not going to do top games of all time because we're all going to fight.
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
that's
There's going to
too
be a
right.
fist fight.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if there's 100 slots, I think we'll be fine. You know.
100 slots is a lot of games, though.
I think
It
that's
is.
time for
It is.
for level1gamer.com and the Outer Haven to come together and we get it together and do a top 100.
Yeah.
I know my guys. We're gonna go ape shit over this. I don't know. I'm fearing that already. I can already see
think-
the fight.
Most of the games I'm going to pick are be over 20 years old. Like, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah,
love Mass Effect,
mine
love
are gonna
Last
be
of
old.
Us, but they're going to be older games because nobody there was no mention of like what's that, Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion was amazing.
Oh my
Nobody's
god.
mentioned
Okay. Yes.
Eternal Darkness, that was a great game. It pretended to delete your save and turn down your volume.
Mario Kart. Remember when that first came out and everybody and their mom was playing Mario Kart? Fucking
Mario
Rainbow
Kart's-
Road.
Mario Kart 8 has
Yeah.
been running for what, almost a decade now. Like, the fact that these games aren't in there, whoa, slow down, slow your roll. But
I'm kind of
We
reading
got-
into like what they did to decide this. So it's just that each voter had one task: pick a personal ranked top 10 list, and the one in first gets 10 points. The game in 10th place gets 1 point. So they all just made a top 10 each, and then they all gave points.
So it
to
was
like,
all their
number one.
personal favorite games.
Right, and it's
where's
gonna be
Black Ops?
Not like the most influential games
Yeah,
based
it's
on
not
statistics.
necessarily.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Exactly,
Then
exactly. So it's
okay.
not
They
it's
gotta
not
change
like
the
most
title.
influential.
They
Yeah,
gotta change the title.
they could
Because there's no
change the
Black Ops,
title.
there's no Assassin's Creed mentioned in there as well. Like, there's a lot of games missing. And for some people,
you know,
there's no
yeah.
Horizon, if we're gonna go new games, because that's what seems to be. There's no Horizon, there's no Halo 4, which
Ew.
some people consider one of the best. Halo 5
Halo
as
3 is
well.
in there, so I'm happy.
Halo 3, of course.
Halo 3 is in
Is there
there.
Gears though?
I mean, I was glad that The Witcher, the
Gears
third
isn't
one, was
in
in there. 'cause that's
Gears
one of my
isn't in there?
favorites.
Ooh.
Was God of War mentioned?
God of
For,
War
like,
2018.
2018.
2018? Okay.
But not the
I didn't see the
original
old
one.
I'm sorry. I prefer the last two God of Wars over the original God of War games. That's just me.
Remember when Kratos ripped Helios'
they-
head off?
I think the first one was dope because it was the first time you saw like yourself fighting a fucking giant. I don't know any other
Mhm.
game who did that the
No,
first
no, it
time,
was
but they were
dope.
the ones who
Shadow
like,
of the
basically-
Colossus.
yeah, that was
God of War,
wild.
yeah, I
They-
like
they
I
were
like
dope.
3
I
a
just
lot.
prefer the new look.
Yeah.
God of War
Well,
3
listen.
was freaking sick. But I like the new ones too.
Before we dip, two things. If you're great at sound of my voice, hit the like button because it helps us out a whole bunch. And it's free 99 to hit the like button. Don't hesitate. But I'm gonna go around the panel, and I want you guys to give the audience a game, anime, movie, all three or one that they need to be watching or playing this week. And let's start with you, Hugs.
Game, I've kind of put Redfall on the shelf, go play Ghostwire Tokyo. Great game, solid. Go for an anime, go watch The Way of the House Husband. It's on Netflix. It's former Yakuza is now turned into a house husband and can't drop his intimidating personality. And for a movie, go watch Black Panther 2 if you have not seen it yet, because it made me ugly cry like a baby.
Yeah. At the start.
At
You know
the
what I mean?
start,
Like
just-
at the beginning. Yeah.
Ugly cry. Go watch it.
Keith, what you got for people that they should be watching or they should be playing?
For playing The Last Case of Benedict Fox. That's
Okay,
an enjoyable
okay.
Metroidvania. Go play
I
that.
wanna play that.
For films, Guardian of the Galaxy 3. I cried too many times that I should have. That is,
Aw.
I really love that
We'll
movie.
go see it
I'm going to
this
go back and
weekend.
see it again. I can't really say much for anime because I have not been watching any as of late. I mean, okay, I can say I've been watching Mobile Suit Gundam. Well, I always say the name backward. Witch of Mercury Witch. I can't remember the exact name, but I kind of fell off on that, so nothing major right now.
Yeah, I want to play that Benedict Fox.
fun.
Whatever it's called. It looks cool. It's like a Metroidvania, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I need to play that. I need to play it.
Hey, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. I'm back. Dez, what you got this week?
I don't have any anime, but if you guys like kind of like narrative story driven games, Road 96 Mile Zero, which is the prequel to the first game. I can't remember what mile it was, but it's a really cool game, so you should check it out if you like it. It's basically about these kids growing up in like a dystopian kind of world. It really reflects on kind of what we're going through now and like what their president is doing and like all of that shit. But it's really good. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And then for watching, I know a lot of people aren't going to be into this, but like I didn't like the second season of Bridgerton, so I only watched like the first episode and I was done with it. But the third season that just focuses on Queen Charlotte is really, really dope. So if you guys want to watch Bridgerton, go check it out.
And our other guest of the evening, Erica. What should they be watching and or playing? for
That's
this week?
funny. I reminded myself that you guys do this segment. I was like, oh, I gotta think of something to like recommend, and I totally freaking forgot. I wish I could recommend Jedi Survival, but it's not ready, so I would wait on that. I know firsthand, great game, but it's just it needs time. It needs to be in the oven.
Cook. Okay.
I want to mention a game that I need to get back on, and that is Marvel Midnight Suns. That's a cool game, man. I was playing
a lot
that.
on my timeline lately.
The Storm
Yeah,
DLC.
I've been seeing it too. I thought it was going to be the only one, and then I started seeing people tweet about it. I'm like, oh, okay, so people are feeling it. It's great. I have it on the, well, it performs bad sometimes, but I think it's getting better. It was on the, what's it called? The Steam Deck. I had it on the Steam Deck, and it was cool in there. So it's a good game. That's a good game. And then also I beat Wulong, which I recommend for Souls-like fans as well. Go and play Wulong. Just go play Souls. I mean, come on. Go play some Souls. As far as like TV and movies and stuff, I don't watch a lot of movies, but I have been watching Bel Air. I've been watching Bel Air.
Really?
Hey, I can't
And
I can't bring myself to do it.
I can't
I
either.
actually like it. You listen,
Yeah.
okay. So I knew going in, it had like a 70% rating or something like that, and I knew people were kind of mixed on it. So I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking maybe I'm not gonna like it because I really like Fresh Prince. I grew up on it, you know. So
Mhm.
I went in with like no expectations, and I actually really like the show. It's actually good. So I recommend it. I've been watching it. I'm hooked a little bit.
Is it on the second season yet? Is it?
I think yeah, the second's done, I think.
Oh dang.
It
started
is.
it.
Okay.
I started
I
the
just
second
I don't know,
season.
man.
I can't watch
bring
it
myself.
either.
It looks too serious for me, man, and I don't want seriousness.
Yeah,
from
and that's
It's
what put me
very
off.
serious.
Yeah, it kind of irritates me because I was like, it's always been fun, and we don't have that many fun just like shows that are focused on
Abbott
African
Elementary is
Americans
fun.
anymore. Abbott, yeah, but like that's one. Name
Yeah.
5. You know what I mean?
Miss
So-
Pat show.
Mhm. I feel you. I feel you. Like,
Yeah, so I was just like, why we got to bring drugs into it? Why we got to bring what is Uncle Phil doing now? Like, that's not the Uncle Phil
Yeah.
It's mad serious. Like each of them
Yeah.
have serious things going on. It's
That's
pretty
Yeah.
it's
I don't
pretty
need that in my life.
interesting.
Nah.
But
I
yeah, if
got
you're
that
not
in
trying
life.
to be all serious and just probably watch the original.
But you know, I'll give it
Yeah.
a try. You said you recommended it. I will give it a try, and if
But
I don't like it,
just
coming for
blame me,
you.
I guess.
I'm
Is it
coming
30
for
minute
you.
episodes or
I'm
an hour?
coming for you. You knew what it was before you started watching it, though. You
Yeah,
heard
you
about
kinda
it.
know
So you
what you're
can't
getting.
No,
come
I'm
for
gonna go
her.
into it with an open mind because I went
Yeah.
into. I like to go into shows with an open mind. I went into Gossip Girl, the newest Gossip Girl, with an open mind, and I was like, oh no, this is awful. I can't.
I didn't even watch the original.
That was
I
I was
like
junior high.
oh sorry, I was just gonna say I really like Peacock. I feel like they got a lot of good stuff on there. I've actually been watching Married with Children as well, which is like the classic.
Oh, nice.
So
Loaded.
good.
Man,
Al
dude,
Bundy.
Loaded.
I
Have you
always
guys
knew.
watched Ted Lasso? If you guys have not watched
Yes.
Ted Lasso, please go watch it.
I don't think I
Yo,
have.
it's an incredible show. It is so good.
I
It's
heard it
so
was
good.
ending as well. Is that true? Ted
It's
Lasso
what?
was ending. I heard it was
Yeah, I
ending.
think-
Ted
mhm,
Lasso.
mhm.
Listen, I'm gonna be quick. I got 2 suggestions.
That's what she said.
One I've suggested before, but I want y'all to go watch it because season 2 is about to drop. That's Uncanny Counter on
yes.
Netflix. Uncanny Counter is flames. So freaking good on Netflix. You know, I love my Korean dramas. Even though it's more like if you're into anime, live
What's the
action
name of it?
anime, that's pretty much what it is. The Uncanny Counter.
It's
And
really
thank
good.
me later. It is
If you
so
like
freaking
Squid Games, you're gonna. If you like the Korean dramas where it's like not like a true drama where we're gonna have these long monologues, Uncanny Counter is worth it. Fame has never put me onto a bad show.
It's legit. Go watch Uncanny Counter. Season 2 about to drop pretty soon. So good. And then for
About time.
games, I don't do a lot of mobile games, but go try the Mighty Doom. Pop on your phone. It's not on the console. It's on your phone. Mighty Doom. It will get you through some boring times at work. It will get you through waiting on whatever. Download the Mighty Doom on your phone and check it out. Listen, we got to skedaddle because people got stuff to do and people got to go lay down and people got to go take care of their babies and people got to go play some video games and all this other good stuff. And I'm over here old folks. I did not apologize. Keith, where can the people find you, my brother?
You can always find me at Twitter at ShadowHaxer, or you can find me over at theouterhaven.net.
Outerhaven.net. Bookmark it. Bookmark it. And Erica, it's been far too long. It's been far too long.
Yes.
But where can everyone find you?
Well, I'm about to open my OnlyFans, and I'm just kidding. I have my YouTube. I have my YouTube.
The way
Yeah,
I just like
no,
almost gave myself
Drop
whiplash.
the link.
Yeah.
Oh my
You guys,
god.
I mean, I go by Erica's for the win, okay, everywhere. So you can find me on Twitter with that name. I like when the chat starts to respond. It's funny. YouTube,
Girl.
TikTok. I've been doing the TikTok thing a little bit, so I'm just trying to be consistent, man. Being a new mom, you know, it kind of mixed things up. I had to really kind of make a change, so I started doing a lot of short form content, shorts, TikToks, and things, and it's going pretty good. Follow, so yeah, you guys can find me. There you go, right there. Eric, it's for the
There
win.
we go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm always like, because I'm getting old, I do everything in slow motion. so I'm
Erica
trying to
has
copy-
no
I'm
chill.
dropping links off.
She said she
I'm
started
I'm
off saying
tired, man. I'm
OnlyFans.
delirious. I'm delirious and tired. Just don't mind me.
Listen, we're gonna get up out of here. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 p.m. CST. It's been a hell of a show. Shout out to our guests for coming through and rocking with us. Hope you guys come back again. You are always welcome to come and ransack our refrigerator. Hugger keeps the stock with plenty of beer, so help
You know it.
yourself. For everybody who's rocking with us, please visit lv1gaming.com and theouterhaven.net. Make sure you guys bookmark it. Show some love, social support. With all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up to 245. This was WSP Podcast. See you guys next week. Erica, you want to link to the OnlyFans. Peace.
사랑해.